So, why am I an atheist? Well, let's imagine for a moment that I'm standing in front of a room of people all asking the same question. They want to know why I'm an atheist, and I'm trying to tell them through the use of a thought experiment. I say to the audience, everyone here whose favorite color is blue, raise your hand. About 10% of the audience raises their hands. Is what they're saying true? What evidence do you have to prove that it's true? Well, what they are saying is that they believe that blue is their favorite color, and the evidence they have is the fact that they raised their hand. Their affirmation of belief is all the evidence that you need to prove their belief. Now, how many people here know that blue is the best color? A few people raise their hands. Maybe the audience has a little bit of a laugh. By what measurement are you deciding that blue is the best color, and what evidence do you have? It's an entirely different question, isn't it? The question I asked before was about your personal belief. I was asking you to describe yourself. Now the question is asking you to describe reality, but reality is different than the self. You share your reality with everyone else, and there is only one reality. So therefore, there is only one objective truth, and that truth can be measured. It is entirely possible that you could provide evidence on why blue is the best color. But the question will still be, by what measurement do you describe best? And this measurement may be subjective. So your statement would have to begin with describing why this measurement is best to describe what color is best. So it may very well be that there is no way to describe why blue is the best color. But there might be. And to prove that blue is the best color, you would first have to find a way to measure colors and describe the bestness of color. So, how many people here believe they know why a plane flies? Say 4% of the audience raises their hands. See, it's the same thing. Everyone who raised their hands is correct. They do indeed believe they know why a plane flies. But when you alter the question, how many of you know why a plane flies? The question is different. There is a correct answer to this one, so your question would have to start with that measurement. The measurement against what that one correct objective truth is. Now let's ask the same question about God. If anyone here were to say that they believe in God, they would be saying an entirely true statement, and it would not be up for debate. But that isn't what they are saying, which is why this question is important. No, religious people are saying that they know that God exists. Now, by what measurement do they know that God exists? It's here that we fall prey to the various subjective understandings of God. God is an all-knowing, immeasurable force. God provides us with moral good. God gives us an understanding of our lives. But these aren't really measurements. By what objective understanding do we describe moral good? By what objective understandings do we describe understanding of oneself? By what objective measurement could we ever describe an all-knowing, immeasurable force? By these definitions, saying that God exists is just as worthless as saying that blue is the best color. The difference is, however, we already have an objective understanding of existence. For something to exist, it must be measurable. Think about it this way. If a scientist were to come up to you and say that he's invented a new kind of explosion that is immeasurable, you'd say that he is crazy. An explosion is, by definition, measurable, because explosions explode. So if there is anything that is not measurable as a force of nature, be it gravitational or otherwise, then it does not interact with reality and therefore does not exist in any material form except as an opinion or an idea, a belief. The closest any religious person can come to describing why they know God exists is to say, well, you can't prove that he doesn't. But if that's their evidence, then they aren't proving that God exists. They're proving that the knowledge of God is ambiguous, if that is, in fact, proof. I, however, know that God doesn't exist, and I know it because there is no evidence to prove the existence of God. My position can be proven incorrect, much like the question of how do planes fly. A religious person's position cannot be proven correct, much like the question of why is the best color blue? And at the end of the day, who gives a fuck about your favorite color?